Planetary Life has released multiple updates since release, including a recent performance upgrade, so I wanted to try it out again with a big planet. Now we still get the warning that big planets may impact performance, so I wanted to see how my computer handles this so you can decide for yourself. I started with a balanced big planet so I don't have to do much here. I just tweaked the axial tilt a little because I wasn't necessarily in love with how the middle line was looking, and then I just plopped basic plants, basic animals, and let the world shape itself for the most part. The other thing that I did was also increase the mutation rate for both the animals and the plants, and then just switch to observer mode, so just let the game be and do whatever it does best, simulation. Not long after though, a meteor did crash, so I'm like, wait, I did forget about meteors, so let me just put a meteor shield really quickly, and then from there on, no more action from myself. There I did notice that on the top left we now have the simulation and rendering performance measures, so you will see the bars go between green and red. Obviously red is a bit iffy, but for the most part you can see it's still in the green and yellow. Now I will show you like different spans, like this is 1 hour after gameplay, and I just let this game run overnight. Then we have at the 2-hour mark where, yeah, you can see there is some rendering, but it is so much improved than the original version actually. And you have to consider, now at the 3-hour mark we have over 5,000 creatures, like 7,000 plants, so there is a lot going on. Then we go into the 4th hour mark, and the population count did go down a bit actually. So it's nice to see that things are evolving, the map is changing in a ways. At each hour mark that I'm checking, there is a bit of a slower rendering, but partly that is because 2 factors. First of all, the observation mode is constantly rotating, so that's rendering more stuff. And at sometimes it's zoomed in further in, sometimes less, so that may be a bit varied. But the other thing is I did leave my PC running overnight. So I don't know if there is a memory caching where we are holding all the data. So that is something that I will focus on as soon as I pick up essentially. This is the stage. We are at the 9th hour mark. There is so much going on, and it's actually relatively performing well from what I remember on the original version. So what I did was check a bit the encyclopedia, and within the encyclopedia, if I click on any creature, I can actually see the full history, and that is only because I have not yet quit the game. So this is basically 9 hours at timestamp speed, so there's a lot of memory, lots of data being stored. After restarting now, the performance, first of all, we're gonna zoom into some creatures to see what the natural evolution has in store for us. Because there were like thousands of population, I was expecting a good variety, and I don't think I'm disappointed because like, what are these creatures? I don't think I've ever seen stuff like that before. Then on land, this is my favorite natural creature ever. It has insect legs, it has like pincers, it has horns, it has the scorpion sting. It's like a natural desert predator that's just like amazingly designed just by natural evolution. There were also some clams which were moving extremely slow, which obviously because the clamshell is relatively heavy for their bodies. And then there were some turtles that are greenish and small and tiny and cute. When we're considering the zooming in aspect, this is actually performing very well. This is super smooth, and yeah, this is no issues at all at this scale. Even when we go into the snow, the creatures are walking naturally as you expect. And then they're in the sea. There's this little axolotl-like fish thing that just zooming in here and there, and it's just so cute. And I also got to see this beautiful shot under banana trees with the sun, a couple of planets, and there was another planet rising. And it's just like, this is what I love about Planetary Life. I love this game. So now let's just go back into the more overworld view, and you can see, yes, the rendering performance is like constantly red. There are a lot of creatures, but the most impacted is like when you're scrolling through the map. If you're staying just on a simple screen, it's not really visible. Maybe if you zoom in, it's a bit more apparent because it's rendering more details of the creatures and the plants. And I get it, there's a lot of stuff that is being rendered, but overall, especially like at the sprite view, the things are loading way faster. You can see so many creatures in a bird's eye view, and I think this is a huge improvement. So if you have a strong PC, that may be worth playing. If not, stick to the medium, it's still a great game, and I will be seeing you around next time. Bye bye.